What's going on, beautiful people? So it is Sunday once again, and it is Resurrection Sunday, Easter Sunday, whatever you would like to call it. I have been asleep all day because I just got off work at 7 o'clock this morning, and I hadn't been sleeping much the last couple of days, so today has been a catch-up day. Well, I can't even say I've been asleep all day. I slept about 4 hours. And then I've been, my body woke up naturally after that 4 hours, so I've been laying around trying to get the energy to get out the bed and come start this vlog. But Milo just had to come outside. Hi, Milo. Milo. Say hi. He's in love in the sun. Anyway, I gotta go back to work tonight. I'm off tomorrow. So I work tonight at the part-time job, or the temporary job. Then I work. I'm off tomorrow, and then back to my regular job on Tuesday. So I'm definitely gonna be going back to sleep in a little bit, but I do plan on cooking tomorrow before I go to work. Thinking about some meatloaf. Not sure what I'm gonna have with it yet. I don't necessarily want to do mashed potatoes, but I definitely want to do my spicy Italian sausage meatloaf. I haven't had that in probably about a year. So, and the last time I went to make it, I couldn't find the Italian sausage. So, definitely won't be looking at Walmart, at least not the Walmart by me. So I'll probably go get that stuff in the morning when I get off work, and I'll take you guys with me. But for now, I'm gonna finish taking Milo for his little bathroom break, and then go lay back down. I'm probably gonna lay that back down. It's currently 3:40. Probably gonna be laying back down by 5 o'clock, just to try to get another good 5-6 hours. And then I gotta be at work at 11:30. So I'll try to check in with you guys before I go to work. Alright, y'all, so I just got off work, and I think it's best that I go ahead and head to the store now, because once I get to the house, I'm not going to want to go out for a while. So time is now 6:50 on Monday morning, so let's go ahead and head to Harris Teeter. Alright, so I just got to the store, and I made a decision on what I'm going to fix with the meatloaf. I'm going to do green beans and potatoes with turkey, and then corn. So I'm just grabbing everything. So far, I just got the green beans and the potatoes, and I'm grabbing the meat now. And it looked like Harris Teeter don't have, at least this location, don't have Italian sausage. So I have to decide if I'm just gonna do a regular meatloaf, or if I'm gonna change my meal up. I really wanted that spicy Italian sausage meatloaf, but they don't have Italian sausage. Wait, maybe I didn't check the right cooler. Alright, so actually they don't have spicy, they just got mild, which is gonna have to do. Alright, so just gotta grab the corn, and I'm out of here. Alright, so that took me less than a half hour to go to leave work, go to the grocery store, grab those few items, and I'm at home letting Milo out, and it is currently 7:20 on the dot. So all of that in a half hour. So I did really good this morning. I think what helped is that the kids are out of school for spring break, so it wasn't as much morning traffic as it normally is. Either way, I'm about to take Milo, put it down. Put it down. Put it down. I'm about to let him finish using the bathroom. Come on. Up here. Oh, I guess he's done. He's running in the house. There you go, up there. Milo. Oh, there you go. Maybe he's not done. Either way, I'm about to take him in the house and try to be in the bed by 8, sleep until about noon. Then I'll get up and cook and do my homework. Come back here, Milo. And I'm sure they're probably going to be calling me in again tonight because we have a lot of work to do. And yeah, so I'll try to check in with you guys before I go to work tonight. Definitely while I'm cooking. All right, guys. So it is now 12:25. I've been up for about an hour. I only slept for about 3 hours, and I actually just got the text message telling me that they need me to come in tonight. So I'll be going back to bed by 5. But I woke up just in time to see that something that I ordered from the TikTok shop is here. So let me show you what it is. You're not going out here. Go sit down. Wow. Big package, I know. This is going to change the game when it comes to shopping at Aldi's, and I'm going to show you why. Alright, I had to go find some scissors so I can get these straps off. Alright, if you've been on TikTok shop, then you probably have seen this. But I'm sure if you shopped at Aldi's, you know how annoying it could be to get there and one, you may not have a quarter to get a card. Two, you forgot your bags at home and now you got to pay for more bags. With this, I no longer have to worry about either as long as I put it in the car. So, here we go. It's basically a collapsible shopping cart. See, it collapsed to the point they can fit in my lap. Alright, so this is one basket. And then it has locks on the side to lock it in place, I think. So that's one basket. So that's what the other box is. That's the other basket. Oh wow, okay, so here are the wheels. The wheels they put in the bottom. So Milo, you not going for that camera. We're gonna fight. So it's a button right here that you press and it expands. You got one cart that can go down there where you put heavy stuff down there. Other cart goes, or basket goes up here. Now I gotta figure out how to put these other wheels on. Just pop right in. You're supposed to be able to change the position of the handlebar, and then down below there's a brake. Okay. And the second part of the package was the other basket. So now when I go to Sam's Club or when I go to Audie's, all I gotta do is just put all of my stuff in this and bring it upstairs. This is awesome. This is so cool. So, let y'all get the full view of the cart. Disregard my house right now. It's lived in and loved. But that's the full cart. guys, so today is Tuesday. It's currently about 5 minutes to 10 p.m. and I'm heading out the house to work my other job. I worked a half day at my primary job this morning and was asked to come in early to this job, so I'm away. Thankfully I live right around the corner, so I'm supposed to be there at 10 o'clock. Probably gonna walk through the door right at 10 or right before 10. So let's go see what this night is bringing, because I think we are falling behind on work again because they canceled second shift today. So I don't know why that radio just refused to stay off. That's the problem I had with this car. But yeah, they canceled second shift today, so I think we're falling behind on work. So I'm gonna get off here so I can get to work. Talk to y'all. What's going on? So it is now Wednesday. Time is now 1:49. I'm actually home early because they gave VTO. So I took it at 12. So I was only at work for 2 hours instead of the 4.5 I was supposed to be there today. Which is perfect timing because working all these nights in a row is definitely wearing on me. Last night I worked from 10 p.m. to 5:30 a.m. and I felt like I should have left at 4:30, but I was like, no, I'm gonna push myself and stay to 5:30. And actually, I think by the time I got to the time clock, it was almost 5:45. And then I gotta go back tonight. Tonight they got us coming in at our regular time at 11:30 instead of coming in early. But we are definitely falling behind. I think us coming in early last night did help since they canceled second shift. First shift apparently did a lot, but they didn't do all of Monday's work. So there was still a couple hours of Monday's work left when we got there last night. I was on the international side. The work that needs to be done was on the domestic side. So they had 3 tables doing the domestic work, 3 tables doing the international work, and then 2 tables doing one special form. That table and the international table was on Tuesday's work. And then around 1 o'clock they finished up, somewhere between 12:30 and 1 o'clock they finished up the domestic from Monday, and then they switched over to domestic and we finished up international around 3:30, 4 o'clock. And so then we switched over and started helping domestic, but it was still so much Tuesday work left. They had pretty much just brought it out when they switched over at 1 o'clock. It was at least 4 full carts. 2 carts was just flats. All three shelves was just flats. I think we may have gotten through one of those carts before I left. And then they had 2 other carts that was trays of mail, and each tier, each shelf was 3 tiers, and each tier was stacked 3 trays high. So that was a lot of work left for first shift to do, and I don't know if they called in second shift today. I guess we'll see when we get there tonight. They didn't ask us to come in early, so I'm assuming they did call second shift in. But again, we'll see. Ideally, we should be on Thursday's work when we get there tonight, because we started at 11:30 and it switches over to Thursday right after we get there. So we should be going to Thursday's work, but I'm sure we're still going to be on Wednesday's work. because, like I said, we hadn't even gotten to Wednesday's work. We were still on. They was just starting to really get into Tuesday's work good when I left. So we got to get through all of Tuesday's work before we can start Wednesday's work, and then Thursday's work start coming in at midnight tonight. So we're definitely falling. We're definitely behind schedule, and part of the reason why we're behind schedule is that not as many temps are coming in as early this time last week. This time last week we had a full house. Um, After Easter weekend, I don't know if people got fired or some people just said it wasn't worth coming back, because it's a lot to sit there and process these tax returns. Um, Me with coming off this injury, it definitely puts a strain on my spine, and I have to stop and adjust myself and do my physical therapy exercises throughout the night. Otherwise, if I don't, then by the time I get off, I'm no good. And there's one process called candling that I can't do at all, because that's where I was when I blacked out. And the security guard that monitored me that night pretty much told me, if they can't get a seat for you back there, we can't have you back there. The supervisors and the leads that are aware of the situation, they're all in agreement that I can't go back there unless I'm sitting down. So usually when my table get called to go back there, everybody's looking at me and wondering why I'm not back there, but they don't understand the medical risk that it poses for me being back there, because it's hot, and with these pinched nerves in my back, it becomes too much to stand up for an hour plus, just sifting through paper. I told the guy that runs the area, if you have a seat for me, I'm more than willing to come back here. But if you don't have a seat, I can't come back here. So, and a couple people have seen me have these conversations with him and think I'm just getting over on him. So when I walk away, one night I walked away, and two other girls that were sitting at my table, they walked away as well. I could hear them talking to each other. It was like, well, he ain't doing it, so I don't feel like we should have to do it either. But they didn't understand they didn't even hear the whole conversation, so they don't understand the medical risk that it poses to me being back there. They also didn't see the conversations I had with the floor general or my table lead in regards to that either. So on this particular night, we were waiting for more international work to come out, and so they didn't want us to really switch over to domestic, because they had a fear that once we switched over, more work was going to come out. So that's why they sent us back to Kendall. And so when I reminded them of the situation, they was like, oh, no, yeah, you can't go back there. And it was like, yeah, you're more than welcome to switch over to domestic, and then if more international work come out, we'll just have you switch back. In the end, no more international came out, so I was fine. However, those two girls, they thought that they can just do what I was doing. So when they saw me switch over and go grab the domestic work, they was like, oh, they told you can do domestic, we gonna do domestic too. I was like, no, they told me I can do domestic because I can't, medically, I can't go back there and stand on my feet like that. They was like, oh, so then they got disappointed. They went and sat down and shut up, because they knew that if they talked too much, the gig was going to be up and they was going to get sent back there, or they was going to get sent home. And last night they made it perfectly clear that if you're not willing to candle when your table is called, you will be asked to clock out and go home, and you might not be invited back. So that's what we had with that. But I do have to be at work tonight. It's early enough that I can get a full 8 hours, because it's not even 2 o'clock yet. Yes, 1:57. So ideally, I want to be asleep by 2:30, 3 o'clock. So if I sleep from 2:30 to 10:30, that's full 8 hours. I haven't had a full 8 hours in quite some time. Even on my off days, I can't get a full 8 hours. It's like my body just naturally wake up after 3 to 4 hours. Even last night, I went to bed yesterday at 3. and tried to sleep from 3 to 9. No, I went to bed at 4. Tried to sleep from 3 to 9. By 7 o'clock, my body was waking up. And I'm like, no, you're going to sleep. Actually, it was like 7:48 or something like that. I remember the clock saying. I was like, no, you're going to sleep. So I laid there, and thankfully I was able to go back to sleep and sleep for the next almost 2 hours. Actually, it was less than that because I got up at 9:15 to be out of the house by 9:45 to be at work by 10. So yeah, if I can be asleep by 2:30, I think I'll be fine. I'm gonna take a Excedrin PM. It does help me not be in so much pain in my back, and then it also helps me get as much sleep as I can. Even if I don't get the full 8 hours, I can get a deep enough sleep with the Excedrin PM that I feel okay. And then I'll do like I've been doing every morning. I'll come home tomorrow morning and sleep from. I'll get off. I'll leave about 5:30, and I'll come home and sleep from about 6 to 8:30. And that 2.5 hours do help. And then tomorrow I'll get off early, but I think I don't leave until like 4:15. But I'm also supposed to go to that show tomorrow night, which starts at 6:30. So I don't know. Right now, I don't know if I'm. Right now, I don't know if I'm going to work tomorrow night because I did pay for the tickets to the show, and because I have been working every day since last week Monday. I think I'm leaning more towards not working tomorrow night just to have a night to myself, so I can go to the show and then come home and get a good night's sleep, because I'd have to work a full day on Friday from 10 to 7. Same thing with Saturday, 10 to 7. But and with us being behind on work, I'm sure we're probably gonna have to work this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night, because every day more mail is coming in. So we gotta keep working. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this. Going to this showcase tomorrow night. It's called the Brown Bag Collective, I believe. I'm gonna put the flyer up so you can see it. It's supposed to be at this little place not too far from here. It's not even a bar or a lounge. It's like a self-care type place, and they do classes and stuff. And looks like once a month they do these shows. I saw it on TikTok. Somebody else went, shared their experience, and so I went to the website to check it out, and I saw that they had one coming up. So you have to register to be selected to attend. So I did that, and they pulled my name to go, and the tickets was only $25 per person, and because the place is so small, they only allow you and 2 guests to come. So this go around is just gonna be me. Maybe if I do it again, my sister or somebody else will go with me. We'll see. But I'm looking forward to seeing it, because I'm looking forward to getting out and attending this event, because I don't really do a whole lot. But I'm gonna go ahead and try to get a nap, and I'll talk to you guys later. All right, guys, so it is Thursday. It's now like 5 after 6. I just woke up a little while ago from a nap. I got off at 3 o'clock. I tweaked my schedule so that I could leave at lunch instead of having to leave for lunch and then come back and then leave at 4. Because the way they had my schedule, it was all jacked up. I was supposed to take my lunch at 2:45, come back at 3:45, be on the phone for 15 minutes, then leave at 4. So I managed to tweak my schedule so I could just leave at 3. And I came home, took a nap for about 2 hours. And so I just woke up at 5:30. Now I'm about to get dressed and head out so I can be at the venue by between 6:15 and 6:20. Show starts at 6:30, and yeah. Thankfully, the job did not call me or text me to see if I can come in tonight because I was going to tell them no. I think because I've worked like the last 8 or 9 days straight, they didn't text me to see if I would work tonight. They're giving me today off. But we are behind. We were still working on the 22nd last night, all night. So I'm assuming that at some point, because we were almost done with the 22nd, so I'm assuming at some point on the first shift they switched over to the 23rd. I doubt they got to the 24th at all, and I doubt if the 24th, the 23rd never came out on the floor. So I don't even know how much mail came in for the 23rd. So I doubt the third shift will even make it to the 23rd tonight or the 24th tonight. So we'll see if I even go into work tomorrow. The rumor has it they may even cancel third shift for Friday night going into Saturday, and possibly Saturday night going into Sunday. We'll see. I'm expecting to go in both nights, but I'm also expecting not to get called for both, but we'll see. But in the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and get dressed, and I will update you guys and let you guys know if that happens. But I'm gonna enjoy tonight and get a good night's sleep because I need it. I didn't want to wake up, but I also didn't want to miss this opportunity to actually get out and do something. So let me go ahead and get dressed and stop rambling. Alright, for my outfit, I just kept it real simple. Just wore what I wore to work. Just blue and white button down, my gray bomber jacket, and some gray khaki slacks, and my white Air Max. So I'm heading out to the venue, and I should be there very shortly because it's not too far from the house. Oh, living on a prayer. Take my hand, we'll make it, I swear. Oh, living on a prayer. Alright guys, so it is currently about 9:08 on Friday morning. As you can see, I had a good time last night. Music was great, the artist was great, but I don't feel well today. I didn't feel well yesterday, but I'm making the best of it. I'm dressed, I'm taking Milo out right now, trying to make it to work, fully prepared to call 911 while I'm at work if I have to, but I have to go to work and go that route if need be. But my head is not feeling the best, and I think it got something to do with this rain that's in the air. But I'm gonna keep you guys updated and let you guys know how today turned out. Alright, so it's Saturday the 26th, and it's about 10 after 10. And you guys didn't get a video of me rushing out the house once because I am home sick. As I was telling y'all yesterday morning, I wasn't feeling well. I haven't been feeling well since Thursday. Thursday I pushed through work Friday, I pushed through most of my shift. I made it from 10 until about 4:30. After talking to HR and my manager and speaking with my doctor, I made the decision to go ahead and leave work, and I'll deal with consequences later. After leaving work and speaking with my doctor, well, I spoke with my doctor before I left work, and I made the decision that I was going to, since my doctor didn't have any in-office appointments yesterday, I made an appointment to see her on Thursday. She agreed to do the continuous leave paperwork for me, and I agreed to go to urgent care or ER if I left work early yesterday. So that's what I did. I went to work, went to urgent care, told them that I had been having a 2-day migraine. Milo, go sit down. Told them I had been having a 2-day migraine. They ended up giving me a migraine shot. This shot was not as strong as the shot they gave me back in August in the ER, mainly because my kidney function has declined significantly since August. So they didn't want to compromise the kidney function anymore. So they said the shot they wanted to give me wouldn't do that, so they gave me a much weaker shot. And the shot did help immediately, however, it did not last. Before I went to bed last night, the symptoms began to return, and when I woke up this morning, the left side of my face, as usual, was starting to hurt again. So I am home today, and I am in the dark. You can't really tell because the sun is shining through the blinds, but the lights are out in my bedroom as well as in my living room, and that's what I plan to stay today. I told my family I might come out there and sit with them for a little while, just because I haven't seen them in about a month, and this might be the only day that I get to see them. If I don't go today, I might go out there Tuesday. I don't know. But I'm supposed to return to work on Wednesday, and then I meet with my doctor on Thursday. So we'll see how that all plays out, and we'll see how the consequences shake out once Cedric, the disability company, and the ADA office evaluate everything that my doctor has to say. I am keeping very good notes on how I am feeling during this time off, and so that I can give her accurate information so that she can properly fill out the paperwork, and then we'll go from there. So that's where we are. One thing I will not be doing is, the last time I did this continuous leave, it was declined because they said that if I just get a note from her saying that she was aware that of the days that I was out and why I was out and when she gave me permission to return to work, that would be sufficient evidence to support my absence. And it really wasn't enough. So that claim ended up being overturned and it counted against me. That was back in October, which is part of the reason why I am where I'm at now. So and that's one thing me and my HR rep talked about yesterday. My HR rep did put in for additional 88 day, but she told me not to use it yesterday because she didn't want the same thing to happen, because there were other 88 days that she put in for me that she and I requested back in October, November, that she told me, hey, since we already requested these days, normally you can go ahead and use them right away. And when the final approvals came down, more than half of what we requested was overturned, and only got the 4 days that I get every month out of the we requested 14 days a month and only got 4 days. Um, so with that, um, she and I made the decision that it was best that I didn't use the 88 day yesterday. Just go ahead and try to use the continuous leave and make sure everything was detailedly documented. And one thing I found last night was the ADA accommodation paperwork in my personal email that I emailed to myself from my work email back in October, which I thought I no longer had access to because the work email system will automatically delete your access to paperwork after 3 months. And the last time I tried to access it from my personal email, it didn't come up. So I just need to re-download it to my computer or my phone and change the dates on it because it's a blank form. It just has my old supervisor and the dates of my last request in October on it. So I just need to download it to my computer, change that information, and then print it out and take it to my doctor's appointment on Thursday and have her fill that detailed form out versus just getting a doctor's note that she gave me back in November for the October dates. Um, Thursday was such a great night. Even though I wasn't feeling well, I went to the show and I almost left the show early. I didn't want to not go to the show because I didn't want to waste my money that I spent on the ticket because I do that way too often where I bought last year I bought a Hornets ticket that was over $100. And because somebody pissed me off, I decided not to go to the game last minute. I bought tickets to this paint and sip that was like $50. And because I felt like it was gonna be an issue with me getting up in time to go to work. Even though I know I could have made it, I didn't want it to be an issue with me going to work. So last minute I changed my mind because my work schedule had changed last minute after I bought the ticket. And that's just 2 tickets that I can remember within the last year that I wasted. So I do that quite often. So I didn't want to do it this year. So even though I wasn't feeling well, I decided to go ahead and go to the show. And the music was really great. I inserted a couple clips already, just so you guys can see some of the original music that she sang. She did a few covers. She did Billie Jean. She did Poison. She did a Billie Jean Poison mashup, and she did a Mary J. Blige, Will Smith mashup. I even went live for a little bit when she did that on my TikTok. So I will repost that live on my TikTok and try to drop the link down below so you guys can rewatch a minute or two of that. The shop that this was at wasn't a bar. It wasn't a venue that you would actually think would host something like this. This was like the place was called Brown Sugar Collab, where the young lady that owns it, she sells like a bunch of self-care products. From what I could see, it was some body oils, body butters, and then she holds, from what I saw on her website, she holds perfume and cologne making classes. So I plan to go back for one of those classes at least. And then she do this collab with a local artist, once a month on the last Thursday of each month. And it's a lottery as to who gets to attend. And each month she sells out. I think this was her second or third month doing it. Um, and when I first, the video that I saw on TikTok that led me to it, um, showed me that it was a really nice vibe. So I was really interested in going. So I originally invited my sister. She ended up not being able to go originally, and last minute she could have come, but she had forgot about it, and I didn't realize that she was off work until afterwards. So we wish she could have come. But that's neither here nor there. It's something that my parents would really like, so I'm thinking that next month I might go ahead and enter the lottery. And even if I don't go, I might send them. Um, and then kind of lost my train of thought right there. But it's something I would definitely do again. You enter the lottery to go. She randomly selects who can attend, and I think Uh, I entered the same night that I saw the video on TikTok, and then like a day or two later, I got the message saying that I was selected to attend. And at the time that I purchased my ticket, it was on like 7 tickets left. So I hopped on it right away. I first asked my sister if she was interested in going. She told me that she couldn't make it, so I went ahead and purchased my ticket because you can bring yourself and 2 guests. Um, she said she couldn't make it, so I went ahead and purchased my ticket so I wouldn't miss out. And then when I got there, it was actually pretty interesting because when I first walked in, all I saw was a room full of women. And I was like, did I kind of read this wrong? Was this for women only? What's going on? And then when I stepped up and gave her my name so she can mark me off as having arrived, um, she told me, she was like, I'm gonna sit you over here at this table with this other gentleman because he thought he was the only guy, and I could tell that you guys think that's the same thing. And so me and him kind of vibed out or whatever. And then as we sat there, another couple walked in. Two of them, those two couples, they kind of hit it off because they were about the same age bracket, a little bit older than me. They were raised in the 70s. I'm an 80s baby. And they were vibing on their travel experiences. They have traveled extensively across the Caribbean. Both the women had traveled a bit across Europe, and they were really nice. They welcomed me, listened in on the conversation. They wasn't snobbish or standoffish or anything about like that. We kind of had a connection because I'm from Milwaukee. The couple that was originally at the table when I got there, they are from Chicago. Well, she's from Chicago. I think he's originally from Chicago too, but they met in South Carolina. She moved to South Carolina because her mom died when she was young. Her older sister ended up taking care of her, and he ended up moving to South Carolina because he was in the Navy. And they met on the Navy base because her sister's husband was a Navy man. So that's how the two of them met. And just listen to their travels. They share some very unique experiences with me that kind of encouraged me to want to travel more than I already do. And they encouraged me to just, even if I can't travel in groups, to go ahead and travel by myself, and not just go to all-inclusives, but be a little more adventurous and be willing to step off the resort, because stepping off the resort is not nearly as bad as most people make it seem. They did confirm, both couples confirmed for me that Paris is as stinky and as nasty as other people have said it is. They said they are very disrespectful of Black Americans. The couple that was sitting there before me said that they had paid for the high-end concierge service that came with beverage delivery, and they were bringing them the low end vodka, the bottom shelf vodka instead of the top shelf vodka that they had paid for. To the point they had to come down there and complain. And it was like, I didn't pay for Smirnoff. I paid for Kettle One. Bring me what I paid for. And they actually end up having to keep going down there to get what they wanted instead of because they wouldn't bring it to them. That's how bad it was in Paris. But they said Barcelona is beautiful. And talking to my cousin who played ball over in Barcelona, I kind of got that same vibe. So, but as we sat there, it ended up being two other gentlemen that came in. One didn't stay for the show. He just came and kind of greeted a couple of young ladies there. One of the young ladies that knew the host ended up walking out with him right before the show started. So I think he was just really there to meet her and get a couple of drinks. So it is what it is. That ain't my business. But I almost ended up leaving early because as the show didn't start when the advertisement said it would. It was slated. It was told to be a 2-hour show. It ended up being a 2.5-hour session. So it started around 6:30. The first hour was really more for meet and greet, where guests was able to come in and mix and mingle, have drinks. The show didn't really start until about 7:30ish. That's when the MC got up and introduced the artist and introduced the bartender and everything, and encouraged everybody to tip the bartender and that kind of thing. And then we got into the music, and the artist actually was up on stage for about an hour. There was no opening act. I think had there been an opening act, it probably would have been a little bit more enjoyable for me because other than listening to their conversation, I was a little bored. Even if the opening act was only on stage for like 30 minutes versus the headliner being there for an hour. Even if the opening act wasn't a musician, but maybe a poet or something, I think that would have been a little different format. But right around 8 o'clock, my head really got to bothering me, and I almost slipped out then. But I couldn't find the right time to do it without being, without feeling like I was interrupting something. So I pushed through and I stayed to the end. But as soon as as soon as everything was over, I was like the second person that walked out the door because I couldn't take no more. So I was out of there by like 8:35. But then I wanted to get something to eat. I was gonna stop at Moe's Southwest Grill because I've never been there, and I was not too far from one. But I ended up making a wrong turn and not passing it. So I ended up coming down South Boulevard through South End and thought about Taco Boy. And Taco Boy opened up right after I moved here, and I haven't tried them yet. So I was like, okay, since I'm about to pass them anyway, I'll stop there. But I got there. By the time I found the parking space and was able to walk in, it was 9:05, so they had just closed. So I ended up not being able to eat there. So I just came home and ate what I had at home, and called it a night. But I never expected to wake up on Friday morning and feel worse than what I did Thursday. To the point that when I woke up at 7:30, when my first off, my body woke up naturally at like 6:30, and I rolled over and made myself go back to sleep. My alarm clock went off at 7:30. I immediately reset it for 8:30, and even then I reset it for like another 20 minutes. Finally made myself get up at like 10 minutes to 9, got dressed, and the whole time I was in tears. Made it out the house pretty much right on time. Took my, before I even got up, before my feet even hit the floor good, I took my Sumastriptan. I took my topiramate and my Excedrin migraine to work with me. I made sure I took all my blood pressure pills. I took my acid reflux medication. I took my um, magnesium, any medication that I felt like I was going to need that I would normally carry with me and take throughout the day. I took it beforehand because I was like, I feel like I might have to go to the hospital from work. Um, and I was like, I don't want to take this medicine back because there's other medication in there that I don't take on a daily basis. And if I had to go to the hospital, I didn't want them to think that I was taking all of that daily. So I left my medicine bag at home, took what I would normally take on a daily basis at home, or I put it in a smaller PC container and took it with me, and took it when I first, either before I left the house or when I first got to work. And just as the morning was progressing, I was getting worse. And by 12 noon, when I went on my break, I just knew I wasn't going to make it through the day. So when my break was over, I went and met with HR, told her how I was feeling, and just asked her what my options were. And she reiterated that she couldn't approve anything because, she just have a voice in the decision. She don't make the final decision. It's ultimately up to my manager and supervisor. But she don't make the final decision. But she would definitely speak with them in regards to me stopping by the office to talk with her in regards to how I was feeling and what I was thinking for the day. She encouraged me to go talk to my manager since my supervisor wasn't there and see what he could do for the day. He basically told me I had to do what's best for my health. He appreciated me talking to him, but he would get with my supervisor when he got back and talk with HR, and a decision would be made on how they would handle it once my supervisor would be back. So he basically left me no assurance that my job was going to be saved. So with that, I didn't feel comfortable leaving. So I went back to HR and told her I didn't feel comfortable leaving. Because at the end of the day, who wants to be fired? Who wants to be fired knowing that they have a documented illness that they have been working with the company with, and the company has been denying them accommodations. Some of the doctors that they have worked with in the past have denied them the paperwork needed, that the job needed to help them with the accommodations that they need. So I made the decision to try to stay. Ultimately, me and HR decided that it would be best if I reached out to my doctor and see if my doctor would be willing to, and I've said this already today, be willing to fill out the continuous leave accommodations paperwork. And I told her, based on what my doctor said, I would make a decision on that, based on that, on whether I stayed or I left. So I ended up staying another 4 hours after meeting with HR before I finally saw the message from my doctor. I sent that message to my doctor around 12:30. They didn't respond back until right before 4. I didn't see it until almost 4:30. But once I saw the message, I went ahead and replied and let my doctor know that I had already scheduled an appointment for the 1st, and I was going to be heading out to urgent care. So I ultimately ended up leaving work 2.5 hours early. And yes, they will hold that kind of thing against you, even though you stayed the majority of your shift. They ultimately don't, excuse my language, give a fuck. They care more about their policy, their attendance policy being followed than the humanality of the fact that this person has a documented illness and they worked through 2 days of being sick, 11 hours of being sick, even though they were scheduled for 13, 14 hours of that time. So thankfully, but not thankfully, I'm still not feeling well today. So I can have that documented in my doctor's paperwork when she does fill out this continuous leave, because it does justify me taking day 2. We'll see how I feel tomorrow. Tomorrow's my off day. Monday is my second off day. I'm going to document how I feel those days. So again, it can be documented in the paperwork, and we'll see how I feel on Tuesday. Tuesday is the third work day, so I have to take at least 3 work days off in order for it to count as a continuous leave. The off days don't count. And then I'll go back on Wednesday, and then I'll meet with my doctor on Thursday to have her fill out the paperwork. On Tuesday, I will call Sedgwick and have them start the process. It's stressful, but at the same time, I think tonight and tomorrow and Monday, I'm gonna beef up my resume. Thankfully, I just attended a resume writing workshop that the job offered. They ultimately offered the resume writing workshop for a job fair they hosted like a week later for internal applicants. But I'm going to be using what I learned in that workshop to help me fill out applications for external positions. And the fact that I'm 1 class away, well, not 4 weeks away from finishing my last class in my associate's degree, I think that's going to give me another leg up in the job market. Going to start applying for new jobs. I ultimately already have a backup plan in place, and I'm ready to work that plan tomorrow if I have to. But at the same time, I do understand that I should still be working at somebody's company, and I'm hoping that if I do, my hope and prayer is that if I do go to work for another company, is that I get what I am desiring. I'm looking for higher pay, closer to what I was making when I left Milwaukee. And I'm putting it out there in the atmosphere. The devil cannot stop what God has for me. I'm looking for higher pay, close to what I was making when I left Milwaukee. I'm looking for benefits that are just as good as what I have now, if not better. I'm looking for accommodations that are just as good or if not better than what I have concerning my medical situation. I'm looking for them to be willing to accommodate the surgery that I have coming up in August. And I'm also looking for them to accommodate the vacation that I have paid for Thanksgiving weekend. If they are not willing to accommodate those things, then I know God has other plans for me. Ultimately, if I end up not being able to stay with the company I'm with, I know that I won't be able to have the surgery. If I'm not able to stay with the company that I'm with, and I don't land another job that is willing to accommodate the surgery in August, I know that I probably will have to push the surgery back or not have the surgery at all. Which, because it is an elective, I will discuss with my orthodontist what my next option would be. And I meet with them on the 12th and go from there. But the vacation, I am not willing to compromise on. I compromised too much on my last job in Milwaukee, where I canceled trips that I had already paid for because they kept changing the vacation rules, and I'm not willing to do that anymore. But this clip has turned into something way longer than what I planned on it being. I also needed to close out this video because this is Saturday, and I do want to get this video uploaded. And I want to rest because where I'm hurting at right now is right around here. I was hurting here before, but it's right around here now, and this is a very common place for me to hurt. So I'm going to go back to my bedroom where it is much darker. Ultimately, I leave the blinds open in the living room for Milo, because he shouldn't have to be in the dark all day. But I hope you guys enjoyed this week's vlog much better than the previous weeks. I did try to make it a little bit more interesting for you guys. And don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And be sure to hit the notification bell. And I'll see you guys in the next video.